70? It's one of those frequencies. I've heard you a couple different times up there on AM.
Yeah, I was to get up there usually on the weekends, but yeah, and I have heard, like you said, there's a lot of 5 stations on 90, so they come in, but yeah, you know, AM, it's you got to be really, really strong to be heard, and it's I'd probably just tune right by them and think it was a birdie or something.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, they're pissed weak out here. They just don't come. They don't come in.
Yes, sir. I understand. I'm PW myself, so I get what you're talking about.
Well, I don't know. You're doing pretty good, so I think you're a solid, consistent 20 over here anyway. So doing really good.
I probably got the weakest signal on the band.
What'd he say?
Yeah, what'd he say?
That's my point exactly. What'd he say? Anyway, good morning. I hear you just fine.
Yeah, I hear you too, Charlie. How you doing this morning?
I'm not too damn bad for a buckwheat now. Other than that, I'm not going to say.
Good. Glad to hear it. K9 JSP. It's that time I got my clock set correct again.
Well, I'm infected with that disease they call 24, so I don't pay any attention to clocks.
Okay, yeah. Well, I looked, I think it was last night. I hadn't had much time here at the shack since I got back, and looked at the time. I said, is it that late already? But when the power's out here, this clock that I'm looking at is on battery backup, and for some reason, or I don't know if it's the battery backup or it's the generator. It might be the generator. The cycles might be a little bit higher than 60, and it always speeds the clock up, and it depends on how long it ran. But my generator ran for 6 or 7 hours last week, middle of last week, a week and a half ago, I think it was. We had an ice storm here, and power was out for about 6-7 hours.
Thank God I live in Texas, is all I can say.
That's why we all have whole house generators around here now.
And it's one thing for a fact, if I lose electricity, I'm just poo-poo out of luck because I don't have a generator.
Well, you know, it'd be great if I could get by without one, but when the sump pump was running almost continuously and it's at freezing or below because you're getting ice, you kind of got to have one to keep the pumps pumping and the heat heating.
Yes, sir. I totally understand. I know. Now, if I lived a little bit closer to the Gulf, I would probably consider getting one, you know, considering all the hurricanes and junk like that coming through. But living, you know, a good 4.5, 5 hours away from the Gulf, I'm pretty well centralized here in Texas, and it's not too much that's actually going to take out electricity. So, I mean, if we do lose it, it's usually just for 30, 40 minutes, so it's no big deal.
Yep, I know what you're saying. That yeah, you're inland far enough that it's good. I don't know what it is here where we're at. It's either it can be high winds, thunderstorms, ice storms. Those things seem to take our power out, and they always have for years and years. And I've had a whole house automatic generator for 10, almost 15 years now.
I bet that's pretty cool.
It is. It's pretty soothing, especially if I'm at work or something and I know or somewhere. Actually, I get an alert when the power goes out from one of my one of my Wi-Fi connected devices that tells me that the power went out because the Wi-Fi went out and something isn't operating. And then I can do some things and check to see if the house has powered back up again by looking online or by making a phone call back to the house here.
It's too high-techy for me. Gee.
Nah, it's not really. But it's soothing to know that things are running, and they're still working.
What would this world be like today without without all this technology? I mean, just think what it was like back in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s before all this crap turned around like it did.
I didn't have this nice finished basement down here for one thing. You couldn't. Because if the power went out or whatever and you weren't home, you didn't have power to pump up, if it was raining hard or whatever. Usually a storm is when all this happens. And you'd have water, it's clean water, but still it's water. And you'd have a mess to clean up and, you'd vacuum up, mop up and whatever and say, well, the hell with it and go again. Ooh, sounds like a sick dog to me.
Uh-oh.
Woo, W9AD. Hello, radio.
Hello, radio.
Good morning, Dave. W9AU.
Well, hi, Dave. Hi, Mike.
Good morning.
Mr. Dave.
Hey, Charlie, I'm hearing you. It's not as loud as I've in the past, but there you are.
I'll stand by, get on to y'all a little bit, and I'll be listening down here. Morning, Dave, and the other gentleman, and Ty's out there someplace. But anyway, y'all have a good one. Keep IWD.
Bye.
Hey, good morning, Charlie.
Still coming in good.
Yeah, morning, Charlie. See you later.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear you there. And I heard Tyler earlier, but the band was long, and I couldn't hear anybody he was talking to, but I think I can now.
Uh-oh.
And it just took a turn. Tyler's about dropped out.
Oh, I'm dropping out. Nobody's changed here. Everybody's 20 over.
Good morning, John. Good morning, Ty.
Hi, Bill. Hey, Bill, I got a question for you.
Hello, Billy.
Hello, Bill.
Hi, Charlie. Yeah, what's up, John?
Well, did Greg move?
I think he's in the process of it. I haven't heard from him, so I don't know for sure. But I think this weekend he's moving some stuff, yeah.
Okay. Well, I just wondered. I've listened a couple times. I haven't heard him, so I figured maybe things were shut down and he was in the process.
I believe that he is. I don't know that for sure, but the timing sure sounds right.
I just saw Brian's little cubby that he put his 8000 in. It's real cute.
Oh, did he send a picture out?
Yeah, he's got his little Dell computer and a little shelf under his desk. It looks like he kind of made it himself, and then he has the Anon in another shelf. Looks real good. He's
Zero
doing
SP.
real good with that.
Yeah, I don't think I got that email. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning again.
Hi, Dennis. Well, anyway, Bill, I got your email about Vern as well. That's sad, but boy, he lived a long life and quite a colorful one.
Yes, he did, John.
And I always enjoyed chatting with him. Of course, most of the time it really wasn't a chat. He was kind of telling you where he'd been and who he'd talked to and who he'd interviewed, but it was kind of amazing.
He was a real interesting guy.
Well, if it weren't for his poor audio, it would have made it a lot easier to listen to.
Good morning, Bill. What was this call? KC9AM. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Don.
Hi, Don. Oh, you're calling up this morning, Bill.
Hola, Don.
Hi, Dave. How you doing?
All right, Wanda, Jonda. Yeah, you're doing fine. I could barely hear you before when you were talking to Tyler, so I just went to 160 there for a little bit. But now you're coming up, and that last transmission from Bill, I could hear his signal sliding up as he was talking.
Yeah, you guys are starting to die out here. I'm hearing a lot of that phasing. Sounds like you're talking through like a guitar pedal.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm talking into the back of my banjo.
Well,
Boy, the
sounds
sun's
like
up
that.
and shining off the trees to the west. Looks really pretty this morning.
Well, you're all still 20 over here.
You are as well, Dennis.
Yeah, everybody.
Hi, Dennis. How you doing?
Once daylight savings happens, it's pretty much game over in the mornings here. We'll never be able to get back. It's the timing and scheduling and sunlight will take it out. Isn't that approaching in a couple weeks?
It'll stay darker later in the morning, Tyler.
The 11th.
Wait a minute. I'm confused. I thought it would get lighter earlier.
No.
Well,
It
yeah,
stays darker
that
later
means
because
that
it stays
the morning
lighter later.
propagation will be wiped out. Meaning the sun will be. In other words, look, I only have an hour window where I can hear you, and if we
He
keep
doesn't get
that
it.
1 hour with the sun and the scheduling, and we keep our clock, rotating the same, then basically it's non-viable. Do you understand what I'm saying? It doesn't work.
You got it backwards, Tyler.
Yeah, he's on the wrong season. K9 JSP.
Spring ahead and fall back, Ty.
It would be 7:30 here. Good morning, NU9M.
Hi, John.
You mean our mornings?
The band is right. John is big here.
I'm gonna have to think about it. I didn't get much sleep. I can't.
Morning, John.
Complicated
morning.
decisions right now.
Good morning, John.
Use a slide rule, Tyler. That'll help you.
I seem to have recalled last year when we had the time change that it just wiped out everything. Nothing worked after it.
No, I don't know. I heard John yesterday morning after light started here, so it's still there. Yes, that's true. Last year, that's what happened, Tyler, but that was in October.
No.
25 over, Dennis. Big.
I don't think I'm thinking of that. I'm thinking of in the summertime, in the spring, when the time change happens, there's more sunlight, and so
are you.
our window of propagation shortens by an hour.
Days just get longer. That's all it is. It's not the time. It got nothing to do with it.
Well, it does have to do with it, Charlie, because we have to reorient our clocks. I understand that the Earth doesn't keep time, but the way that we orient our clocks is such that I lose an hour of propagation.
It seems to me that the Earth always did turn about 24 hours a day.
I don't know why this is so hard to understand. I know what I'm trying to say here.
Well, speaking of propagation, I just worked Indonesia.
Yeah, that's great.
Get up earlier, Tyler.
Well,
Or stay up later. Hi,
at
John.
daylight savings time, you'd have to get up at like 3 a.m.
You coming to Sterling tomorrow, John?
No.
Is that tomorrow? Geez, I don't know. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. I probably can.
I was just curious. If,
Well, I probably can do that.
yeah, it's going to be in a different spot this year, you know.
Right. It's at the Civic Center in Rock Falls, isn't it?
Yep.
But we can still meet at the same place for breakfast, can't we?
Yep.
Well, what time do you want to do that in case I don't get a hold of you?
Around 7.
2 a.m.
2 a.m.?
Hey, John, is that the Sterling Hamfest?
Yeah, yes it is. Their doors open up at 7:30 to the public, John, so, you know, I figure probably be around 7 like we have in the past.
That would be plenty early enough for me, John.
If you
I
find
don't have
anything
any other
cool, can you
business
buy
up
it
that
for
way.
me?
No racing or nothing, so, you know, it wouldn't, that would work out.
Well, I'll tell you, it's no big deal if you can't make it up, because if you don't, I probably will just stay home myself, because I don't think Rich is going.
Well, All right.
Is that Evan
If
tuning
that's
up?
the case, that's fine.
He's blowing my receiver
The
out.
traveling I've been doing anyway, I could stand to, if I had a chance tomorrow, I could stand to just
40
stay
over.
home.
Well, that's fine, John. No problem. If you do decide to come, just let me know. But otherwise, don't worry about it.
Is that the once-a-year event there, John?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's got a warm place in my heart. It's where I passed my extra test.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
I think my neighbor's tuning
how
up.
did you get this way for
he
that?
sensed my receiver at 40 over.
That was many years ago, and I happened to be in Chicago. And what is it to Chicago? About 100 miles?
Exactly.
Yep, and I drove out there. A friend of mine in
I think
Texas
Dennis
says,
is trying to step on me.
boy, I knew when I was a kid, he said, Dennis, you better not show your butt up in Texas until you got your extra. So I jumped in the car and drove to Sterling and passed it.
I'll be doggone.
And that's when you had to do the code.
Yeah. What year was that? Do you remember?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Do you happen to remember the VE who was in charge of that test session?
Well, no, I don't, but I was wondering if it was somebody I'm sure it's somebody you knew, if not you.
I'm thinking it was probably a guy named Kevin.
Could be. I don't know. I don't know if I could have any documents that would look that up, or if that's recorded anywhere in the FCC.
Yeah, it was either Kevin or John. And come to think of it, John, can't remember his last name. He used to run all the local testing here, so it was probably John.
Yep, and after I passed that test, I got on the train and went to Corpus Christi and proudly showed my license to my dear friend.
Well, if anybody sees a nice antenna tuner, Evan needs an antenna tuner.
Do you still have your CSCE, your certificate of completion, successful completion? That would tell you the date, and it would be signed by all the people that were witness to it.
I'm sure I have it somewhere, but boy, I've got a lot of files of papers here, and I'm going to be doing a lot of cleaning and going through old stuff, so I might come across it.
Yep, that would tell you the date and who was there and gave you the examination.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, I never had a general. I went straight from novice to advanced, and I stayed there a long time. And so I finally said, well, you still have to do the 20-word a minute code and everything. I better go get it done. So I did.
I'll tell you how intimidating it was to take a test here, Dennis. When you walked in, they said, "Your papers, please."
Yeah. Sign the papers?
What?
He wouldn't understand, would he, John?
Sign the papers, old man.
We want your gold fillings.
But I don't have any fingers.
Yeah, down the hall to the right. It may get a little bit warm, but that's just the funnest.
Why?
3KBC.
Why can you not sign the papers?
Because I don't have any fingers.
You've broken both of my hands.
That's horrible.
Was that what it was? John broke both my hands, or he didn't have any fingers?
I broke both of his hands. It was an old Cheech and Chong thing.
I can't say I've ever watched Cheech and Chong.
You didn't watch them.
You guys sounded just like that customer service representative from AT&T I had on the phone the other day.
Oh, yeah? Did he want
Had
you
that
to
same
sign some
accent.
papers?
Yeah, he had that same accent.
3KBC.
Hey,
Hi, Don.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Is that Ontario in there?
I had a young co-pilot about 22 years old, and we flew into Germany, and he had never been to Germany. The only exposure to Germans he had was watching, what was that crazy, not F-Troop, but the one about the German prison?
Hogan's Heroes?
Hogan's Heroes, yeah. So we cross the border into Germany, we get switched over to German air traffic controllers, and he's laughing. He's just laughing like crazy. Because the accent just killed him.
Sergeant Schultz.
Yeah, I could see that.
November 8 Fox X-ray. You are cleared direct to Wolzenstein via Victor 2-1.
Wow.
Wunderbar.
After that, Dennis, did he say,
I see nothing?
He might have. I don't know, but it was fun.
You're spitting loud and boomer. Hey, Don.
W9AD.
Good here. You're sounding good here, Don. Well, I'm getting out somewhere with a 20-foot antenna. 20 foot? Well, you're being heard in Colorado. Oh, man. Yeah. It broke. And I had to put it up so I can at least work it. But we're going to work on it as soon as I get outside and just get to these high doggone snow banks. There's just too much snow to do anything.
He's Dennis. He's S8 here. What's he at your place?
A little over 9. How are you feeding that 20-foot antenna? You got a big loading coil on it? No, I'm just running a straight coax on it. Oh, okay. What? Well, with a tuner, because you're 5/9 here.
He's barefoot too.
Yeah, I'm barefoot. No, I got no tuner. I've got a MP1000. I'm using automatic tuner, but it's happy right here, Roger. Okay, exactly where are you with all that snow?
Louder than Ty here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, they're out in Wisconsin.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you're absolutely pounding in here near Milwaukee.
Isn't that amazing? That is amazing to me.
Well, my noise floor is S7, so that could be why half the time I don't hear anybody.
Is this antenna vertically polarized?
did he say the whole antenna is 20 foot in length?
Yeah.
I thought he said the antenna was 20 feet in the air.
Well, that's what I was wondering. 20 foot high or 20 feet in length?
What is it, Don?
It's a dipole.
Yeah, it's a half-wave dipole 20 feet in the air.
It seems like everybody's got a noise level here lately. I don't know why. My noise level is more higher than it usually is. It's like my S8 from advertised.
There's Evan tuning up.
N9VR and going for a coffee.
And U9N.
W9AD.
K9DXI.
VA3KDC.
Hey, Rich.
10-0
M9 AM.
KA0KA.
Morning, neighbor.
Heidi ho. Welcome back, JSP.
Yeah, brought some warm weather for y'all. Or warmer weather.
Junk 40 meters.
Rich, you're not going to the hamfest tomorrow?
No.
All right, I think I'll pass.
We'll be there in a while.
I think I'll pass this year. Stay home tomorrow.
Well, don't do that on my account. You're probably going to miss some extremely valuable things.
The only thing you'll miss, John, is breakfast.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And if Rich isn't going to be there, I don't want to go anyway.
Oh, I'd go to breakfast, but not to the hamfest.
Well, John kind of said that he could pass, so I've been under the weather for over a week now, and I'm just starting to feel better, and I'd just as soon not make another road trip if I could avoid it. I already avoided one last Sunday again.
Does anybody know a resource to find a really industrial L desk? I see these ones at Uline. John, we were talking about those. They're those like steel ones where you can get the different tops like maple or steel or whatever. But I was thinking about getting 2 of those and then doing the L thing with them, and then orienting the desk literally in an L to where in the right angle you would still have desk space, right? But the only problem with that is that the desk number 1, you'll still have a leg in your way, kind of, So I cannot find any L desks that are industrial enough to look like they would hold 500 pounds or something like that. So if anybody has any ideas, let me know.
Do you know any carpenters?
I do. I do know a carpenter, but I don't want wood.
I was going to say, have a carpenter make one for you, and maybe it'll be done by the time you get your amp.
Yeah, I do know a really good carpenter. He's done all my work here in the house, so I'm sure he could do it, but I didn't really want wood.
Do you want it steel so that you can hide underneath it to get away from the RF in the shack?
Well, I took a poll, Rich, on having a steel desk or a desk with a maple top, and everybody got mad at me when I wanted the maple top.
Oh, wooden top's not bad, but you kind of want, make sure it's not that press board with the veneer kind of stuff, unless it's really thick, like 1.5 inches thick or something.
Well, it's 1 3/4 maple, that maple top you see on those industrial type tables.
I like maple syrup.
I think John's right. You should have a carpenter build up something heavy duty and perfectly to your specifications, and then paint it glossy black or something cool.
Yeah.
So I just want you to know I have 2 neighbors on the frequency right now. One is my neighbor, but one is also my neighbor here in town. So you guys say hi to Mark, WS7M. He's also a loop convert from Loops RS here in Fort Collins. Go ahead, Mark.
Good morning, all. This is CR7 Mike. Tyler, I've got a welding kit. We can cut that center leg that's bothering you off, and we can weld it in a 45-degree angle for support. We can modify that thing for you. The only reason why I don't want you to get the maple is you're putting 500-pound equipment on it. By the time you get done moving around to get happy, you'll scratch it all up. Plus, I think Evan's right. It's going to look like a kitchen.
Yeah, Evan's not a fan of the maple. Neither is Brian.
I've got a wood veneer, 2 giant L's that are together except about a 2-foot splice in between them so I can walk behind them, and it is strong as an ox. I've got 80-pound receivers and 200-pound transmitters on it.
Yeah, it really takes some really sound structural material to hold the heavy crap.
Yep.
Well, it has a bar that's about 1.5 feet in length, stretched across the bottom of it, attached to it. So there's no way it's going to bend ever.
What'd you do? You put a 2x4 or 2 underneath?
No, I don't have to do that with this one. I did in the old one, but with this one I don't have to. I wish I knew the name of it. I think I got it at some place like Home Depot, but it's very strong.
Do you want to donate your SP600 to Evan?
Yes. I want to donate it somewhere.
Well, Evan got his reel-to-reel yesterday, and he got his scope going and his mic and everything. So he's got a pretty nice looking shack. It's coming together pretty good.
Well, my SP600 doesn't have a case. That's the only issue.
Yeah, I know, but
And it does need alignment.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that, but he likes that kind of stuff.
Mark, where are you located?
6 miles south of Tyler.
Okay, good signal.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Hello, Mark. How you doing this morning?
I'm on my first cup of coffee, about ready to go get a second one, but doing well.
You're 20 over down here in Golden, just down the road.
Oh, you got a great signal here. You're 20 over as well. I'm literally on the southwest side of town from Tyler. Tyler's more in Midtown. I'm on the southwest edge, right near the prairie. I have a horizontal loop versus his vertical. I just don't have big, tall trees like he's got. So my loop's about maybe 35 to 40 feet, maybe 50 feet off the ground, but just mostly horizontal.
Oh, okay. Well, you hit 30 over 9 that time. A little bit of QSB, but you're very strong here.
K9 JSP.
Never EYE. Good morning, fellas. He's the master.
Morning, Pierre. W9AM.
W9AM.
15 over mark here, Chicago.
Yeah, how are our signals comparing with the different style of loops since we're kind of in the same town? We're kind of like Rich and John, you know, we're kind of about that distance apart.
In the same state?
Well, we're in the same town.
Yeah. No, you're. I think you're a few dB over mark there, but pretty close.
I think if I were to average it out, Mark might be 3 or 4 dB stronger than you on average. It's hard to tell with the QSB, but he's got a real cloud warmer there.
Yeah, he's 40 over 9 here, obviously, but that doesn't mean much.
Yeah, he could be doing more cloud warmage out your way.
You know, Tyler, I forgot how close you were to Estes Park.
Yeah, Estes is just, you know, down, you just take Eisenhower, you go down to Loveland, take Eisenhower, and you just go up 34, and I don't know, it's about 30 miles up the canyon, I think. Isn't that right, Mark?
Eisenhower?
Yeah, you can't go that way right now.
Evan just told me he can hear me on 40 meters. Now, I don't know if that's actually me or if I'm just overloading his receiver.
Well, if he's hearing you on twice this frequency, he's hearing you.
Evan, can you multiply this frequency by 2 and see if you're hearing me there? What frequency are you hearing me on? Well, if it's my second harmonic, maybe, but I don't know. So Evan says that I'm so loud that he can see me on his oscilloscope. You know, he has an RF sampler hooked up to the back of the 820 going into his scope. I modulate the scope.